So around the web, I've been seeing a few gold Rotring mechanical pencils, and I couldn't quite figure out what was going on. Were people getting their Rotring 600 and stripping off the paint? You know, it is brass, so under the black or silver paint, there should be gold. Were they finding some sort of Rotring 600 prototypes that were never released commercially, or was there something else? It turns out most of them are probably something else, and that is called the Redcircle 600. This is a Chinese manufactured knockoff, clone, copy, whatever you want to call it, of the Rotring 600 mechanical pencil. And it's a really close copy of it. So I picked one up to kind of get a feel for what was going on. Again, it's certainly a copy of the Rotring. So I wouldn't necessarily endorse this. I don't know anything about Redcircle and how they do business or anything like that. But these things are affordable. You can buy them for maybe like $6 or $7 on like Rakuten and AliExpress and other places like that. They'll ship it to you direct from China, and looks like this. Clearly, they copied the Rotring brand, the logo, the Redcircle is copied, and you'll see as we get into the pencil that it's just a straight up clone of the Rotring 600. But this is the gold Rotring 600 I've been seeing. I'm sure some of them were actually stripped. You know, if you get like a Rotring 600 3-in-1 or whatever, like the newer or older Rotring 600s, they're all made of brass. So if you were to strip it down, it would be gold. But I don't think everyone's doing that. Some of them have to be the Redcircles. Mostly in the mechanical pencil, not in the pens or the 3-in-1s. So we'll look at some of the components here. This thing is all metal. It has the hardness indicator. This is also, with the Rotring 600, the original ballpoint had a color dial here, so you could change it from blue to red depending on, or green or black, whatever, depending on what you use, but that was dropped in the newer Rotring 600. It has the sprung or the same clip that kind of goes around the body here. You'd see the real Rotring, and it's really close in design. Not perfectly close, but really close. You can see like the taper here is a little bit more curved. With Rotring, it's a little bit straighter. There's a little indentation here at the clip. Here, it's a little straighter. Obviously, this one says Rotring on it. This one says Redcircle. But past that, the two are really remarkably close. You see the Redcircle, the Redcircle. Rotring's Redcircle is a little different. It's indented and painted, probably with some sort of enamel. Here it is rubber. It may actually be a little O-ring or like a rubber band type thing. It definitely does not feel as nice as Rotring's really nice enamel. But the knurling here is nicely done. Look at the knurling here. Subtly different. Rotring's is grippier. This one is, the Redcircle's is smoother, but really close. And the Redcircle's has undeniably nice knurling, which means like, despite the price of this pencil, there are some really, pretty high quality parts used to manufacture it. It is all metal. And the weirdest part about this pencil is the body. So it's a hexagonal metal body, but it has a sort of sheen to it that is almost as if it was coated in some sort of polyurethane or something like that. I can't quite tell what's going on, but it's definitely metal. It definitely has some weight to it. It makes me think it could be brass. But you could see it has a sort of shininess to it that I sincerely doubt is polished brass. So I do think there's something on it. There are some manufacturing defects, which, that would have been rejected from the Rotring factory to have, I don't know if it's paint in it or a problem with the polyurethane or some Mars on it, like Mars on it before it was painted. It's hard to say, but you can't see it. So it's probably under the paint. But anyway, that's the sort of thing that would get you rejected from the Rotring QA line. Whereas, for $5-6, whatever this one cost, it's definitely getting shipped out. Same with the logo here. It's a little bit worn down. And I believe it shipped like that. I've used this pencil for a little bit, but I don't think it would have worn out the logos there. Nice knurling, really well done. They really got, so I don't have the Rotring 600 mechanical pencil with me, but this is pretty close to what it looks like. Fixed pipe, just like with the Rotring. So it really is a spot on copy of the Rotring, with like the differences are really not stuff you're gonna notice unless you really know the Rotring 600 well. Like maybe you'll notice these manufacturing defects, but that is, that's like independent of the feature changes. Here you will see the different red ring and the slightly difference to the clip, I guess, but it really does look like the Rotring. I know some people are gonna ask, are they manufactured at the same place? It's really hard to say. Rotring manufactures their newer pens and pencils in Japan. This one was made in China. At least it says that on the box somewhere. The company's based in China. Maybe it wasn't manufactured in China. It's hard to say. I don't know the laws in Japan about where something is made. Does that count as where it's assembled or where it's manufactured? So like were the Rotring 600s made in China but assembled in Japan, so they could say made in Japan? That I don't know, but I believe they are manufactured in Japan. So I would say they're probably not made in the same place, but again, this one's still built pretty well. Opening up, we could see very few shortcomings with this pencil. Like not a lot of corners were cut. So all metal hardware here. I broke that. Metal clutch, brass components here, clearly brass components here, not like the body where maybe it's brass, maybe it's not. Big hefty spring right here. That couldn't have been cheap. Brass hardware throughout the middle, and then metal button. When you pull back the metal button, we could see a replaceable extendable eraser in a kind of standard size, and that's when you pull the eraser, is how you refill it. So again, all metal hardware here, so definitely not cheap to manufacture given the price of the pen. Again, a lot of nice pencils, like $10, $12, $15 pencils made in Japan for sale, don't use all metal hardware on the inside. So something to keep in mind. Fits together really quite nicely, screws back with no squeak or anything like that. And the manufacturing, like the tolerances are all pretty good. Clearly this piece, which is probably the most expensive piece of the pencil, is a little bit messed up, and that's too bad. But overall, pretty surprising how well this was made and how close it is to the Rotring 600, especially given the price. The mechanism works surprisingly well. When you click it, I just broke the lead, so we'll have to bear with it for a second. But it works really well with a long piece of lead. It does not work well with a short piece of lead, but that's not completely uncommon with mechanical pencils. And this one, we'll see how long we can get, but here's 10 clicks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And last time I did 10, it was almost exactly half an inch. So this one too, this is half inch. So almost exactly half an inch out of 10 clicks. So pretty good throw there. So this is the Redcircle 600, obviously a clone of the Rotring 600, the iconic Rotring 600, but this one does the job. It's cheaper. And then I know some people are just trying to figure out what is that gold Rotring 600, and in almost all cases, I believe this is what you're looking for. So I wouldn't necessarily endorse this pencil. I think for just a few dollars more, like the company that makes Rotring 600s, the company that makes Rotring 600s puts them on sale all the time, and you can get them regularly for like 16, 17 bucks. So to get this for 7 or 10 or whatever it costs, plus have to wait months in shipping, or maybe a month in shipping to get this direct to you from China, I would say just get the Rotring 600, get the real deal, support the company. So they have been doing a great job for a very long time. But if you are trying to figure out what that gold Rotring 600 is, then this is it. It's called the Redcircle 600. I don't know that Redcircle makes other stuff. I looked around, particularly for this in the ballpoint, which I didn't see. They don't make any of the multi-pencils or multi-pens, whatever. So that was really it. But And anyway, this is the Redcircle 600 Rotring 600 clone, and hopefully this solves the mystery for a few people. Thanks for watching.